All right, so that's a great question on why those angles aren't working for you. And so I recreated your project here. So we got Scratch the Cat on the left hand side. You can go ahead and, starting at a random position. Again, nice to line it up so we're pointing in a certain direction. So that's a standard every time, so that we're always pointing in 90 degrees. And then I went ahead and I used the exact same steps that you have. And then the 270, so again the 270 is for this particular angle so that we can get that angle of 90 on the inside. And again, you could be using 90 if you had turned the other way. And so if we go ahead, so you're turning to the right, but if we had turned to the left by 90, then we should get the same thing. And so that's one reason why you're wondering about the 270. And then the reason for this 210 is because 210 is broken up as 180 and 30. And so you might say, well, why 180 and 30? So 180 is referring to, so again, as Scratch is moving up, Scratch is pointing in the up direction, or the positive Y direction, and it turns 210 again to the right. And so we're turning here 180 and then an additional 30. And so when you use the number of 208 in your project, that's where you're getting it. And then I move the 270 just like you have as well. And then the one thing that I did at the end here is I just did a pin up and go to a position out of the way, and so you can see how the triangle is looking. And so it just is missing out a little bit, and so you can sort of play with your angles if you want to, or play with your distances to be able to work on that. So maybe this one doesn't need to go up as far, and this really comes back to what type of triangle you're doing. Yes, you're doing a right angle triangle, and you could do any sort of ratio of these move to be able to fix that little gap here. And so I redid it with the beetle just to sort of re-highlight that, and I put a little pause in there. So maybe I can lengthen this pause just to 2 seconds, and if we run it again. So we've got the beetle doing the exact same thing as what you're doing, and then as you saw, it sort of was pointing back down, and so that's where it turned that 180, and then it moved an additional 30 degrees to then get out of the way. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share this project so you can remix it if you want to, and I'll share the link, the URL with you. And yeah, excited to see those projects coming out there. And I'm happy to be able to support your students. Thanks very much, and happy scratching.